Hi and welcome to our 43rd episode, and my name is Sufyan Youssed, and I'm in conversation with the Dean and Director of Six Cricket Academy, Mr. Karthik Jeshwanth. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Jeshwanth, in this episode, the first topic is how important is visualization from a player point of view?
It is extremely important. See, but Sufi, as you know, that we are teaching or coaching at the grassroots level, where there is a lot of importance to visualization or imagery, which I will just tell the difference soon. Like at the grassroots level, the technical, tactical, physical, and psychological aspects, the mental aspects, are very important. And in this, the mental aspect is very important because I remember, Robin Uthappa got into it very early in his career as a youngster, and how it helped him out much later when he almost finished his cricket. So, keeping that in mind, I think it is a good way for any athlete to be, getting tuned to visualization or imagery, which I'll be interchanging these words very frequently as we go on.
Mr. Jeshwanth, how early should visualization be a part of grassroots level coaching from a parent point of view?
See, from a parent point of view, it is a good question. But see, visualization is not everything. It is not a substitute for performance. Visualization is a tool. It's like a vitamin tablet which helps enhance your performance. It is not the only thing. There is the regular practice. Then there are other things like your other training, which I told. Apart from that, visualization or imagery will certainly add. Before we move on, visualization is a skill which uses only one sense, that's the vision. So imagery is more complete. Imagery uses all other senses like hearing, the feel, the emotions, and so many other things. It becomes more complete. So instead of just visualization, which is just about seeing a skill what you do or seeing a skill what someone else does, may not be enough versus imagery, which is more complete. Yeah.
Could you just get us through about how do these athletes visualize, do imagery, the importance of it?
The importance, yeah, I just told, but how they learn, I can probably tell about how these things need to be learned. First, for a grassroots level player who's just starting, a good place would be to pick a place where it's quiet, where it's not disturbed, because it is like how you practice bowling or batting. You need to practice this. It just cannot happen. And where the young athletes go wrong is that they try this, they go to the match. If the performance is not up to the mark, they just say visualization or imagery is of no use to me, so I just move on. So that's the mistake which most of the young athletes do, and patience is the thing. So like in every aspect of life, you need to be patient for you to realize the fruits of that. So probably sit in a quiet place where you're not distracted, and see yourself doing a particular skill, either by creating or recreating. When I say creating, it is about seeing another elite athlete perform the particular skill which you intend to perform, and how he does, and you see that, and then try and incorporate the way you want to. Or recreate is something where you have gone through some great performances, so you want to repeat that. So you just try to recreate those experiences, see yourself doing that, and that way he can learn. So creating and recreating a particular skill is an important part of learning. I've just told about the place where, and also when could be about early morning, just before you're in the bed, and you can just visualize what you want to do, or just before going to the bed, you can recreate what you want to do. So where and when, I've told recreation and creation. And the one more thing is about internal imagery and external imagery. Internal imagery is when the athlete himself sees him doing. He's a part of the whole skill. He's inside it. He himself is doing it. Whereas external imagery is about the athlete performing and he's seeing it from a distance. So these are all the different tools, and as you go get better and better at this, you'll start believing, you'll start trusting this practice, this process, rightly said, and that will help in getting better performances. From my experience, I use imagery mainly because see, Sufi psychology is all interlinked. Concentration, confidence, handling pleasure, decision making is all interlinked. So when you do the imagery part, you're basically taking yourself out of the equation of being under pressure. This game is all about handling pressure. So when you're out of the situation of not being under pressure, whatever be the situation, so usually the athletes get into situations of scoreboard, selectors, selections, whether I'll be picked or not, all these issues which are very irrelevant. So when you get rid of this by doing imagery, your concentration levels will be better, because of you will stop thinking about the irrelevant things, you will start thinking only about the relevant things. And when your concentration and confidence is better, because you are not really worried about the pressure of the situation, obviously your motivation levels will improve, your decision making will improve. So one leads to another, and that can probably lead to performance. So this is the main reason I feel as to why young athletes should get into visualization or imagery.
Sir, I'm sure that you've come across a lot of athletes in your days as a player too, and from a coach's point of view. Any experience you would like to share to us? You've helped athletes, if you can.
Yeah, I have had a few experiences talking to some great players, helping some great players, and listening to some great psychologists, sports
Like
psychologists.
Mr. Doctor Rudy.
Yeah, so I would like to talk about Dr. Rudy Webster. One particular season, he was the sports psychologist of the mental training coach of KKR. That year, KKR won the IPL. So it happened. This is a story which he shared in a forum in the NCA, National Cricket Academy. I was a part of the listener. So he told one story when that season, the final was supposed to happen the next day. The previous day, obviously, like all teams practice, KKR also has gone to practice. And one of their main players is Jacques, probably the greatest all-rounder which cricket has seen. And he was a major part of that team, KKR team. And he would bat number 3 and he would bowl his 4-over quota. It happened that previous day in the practice session, Jacques gave an impression as if he was not interested in what is happening on that day. So, being such a big, huge personality, it was difficult for the captain to go and approach. Why is he showing disinterest? Or the coach to go and talk to him. So they approached the senior sports psychologist, Dr. Rudy Webster, and told that just can you inquire what is happening with Jacques. And the session is happening at one corner of the ground, and Jacques is spending time at the other corner of the ground. And Rudy Webster, like he says, he went to Jacques and asked him, what's happening, Jacques? So he said that, if I'm here, I will not be doing any mistakes. But if I'm there, I can probably do mistakes, and that may affect my confidence. So he concluded by saying was, whether Jacques was here in the net or not, but he was in the other corner of the ground, he was visualizing or doing the imagery about tomorrow's final and what is his role, what he has to do. And in that process, he was doing everything correct. So this is also another important part of imagery or visualization. You should always imagine or visualize what you want to do, not what will go wrong if I do like this. So always positive things which you want to do tomorrow, which is going to give positive results. So this is very important. So that is one experience where Jacques told, and that he will not do any mistakes in while doing visualization versus being in the net he can. But the other side of this is a young athlete should not confuse this to think that, if I do visualization, I'll perform like a Jacques. No, because when Jacques was young, the hours of practice he is put into, and when he is a senior athlete, he didn't need to spend time in the net there. he could just imagine or he could visualize the next day's game, and he did well. And I think that year KKR won. The second instant is when it was with Robin Uthappa when I was mentoring him or coaching him, and he was playing for Chennai Super Kings. That year, the tournament IPL happened in Dubai. Dubai and Sharjah. Dubai and Sharjah put together had just 3 grounds in which all the teams were to play their matches, and they were getting very limited 1.5 hours, 90 minutes of practice session. And if I remember right, Chennai already had the openers in Ruturaj Gaikwad and I think Conway. Two were already opening and they were doing well. And Robin was not getting a chance to break into the 11. And at the same time, the management had told him that you will come in some time, but we don't know the number. So that is when I told, and he was not getting to practice because he is a big time, loves to practice, keep hitting the ball from a young age. But he was not getting time to practice because the coach understandably didn't have time to give batting to a reserve player. And because there are only 3 grounds, the organizers couldn't give more time to the CSK because other teams also have to share that. So they were only getting 90 minutes. So he got in touch with me. Robin got in touch with me. How do you handle this? And then that is when I told him to, do the imagery. Be ready. Be ready because you don't know when you'll suddenly, the coach will tell you next match you're playing. There may not be enough time for you to prepare then. In just one day's net, you will not be prepared. So do your visualization, the imagery, and be prepared that almost every day you're playing the match as if you're playing the match. It is not that's why I told it's not a substitute. No, there are many times where athlete cannot practice. Now recently we had the COVID, about 4-5 years ago. Where was the place for practice? So does it mean that we close shop? No, but you can play the games in your mind, okay? Or when the athlete is injured, or when the athlete is sick, or like I told you about when the athlete is not getting a chance to practice in the team. So these are great times for you to do this imagery. So that is one thing. Then, the history of imagery goes back. Even there is a story of Newton did what he did because he could visualize, traveling with light or the speed of light. And I've spoken to one of the greatest batsmen India has produced, probably the world, Gundappa Vishwanath, whether he was doing. He said that he had not even heard about this word visualization, and he told one story what I would do while playing the West Indies or the Australian fast bowlers like the Dennis Lilly, Thompson, Andy Roberts, Michael Holding and all that is, I would, in a 5-day test match, I would go back to the room and have a shower and just lie down as to what I'm going to do the next day. How am I going to combat the bowlers? If so and so is bowling, what am I going to do? What am I scoring shots on this wicket which is behaving batting friendly or bowling friendly? Accordingly, then there will be a change and the spinners will come on. That is where will I get runs? How will I play? So he's replayed the whole thing, which is going to happen tomorrow. And then he says that I close the day. So his preparation is done. So he's a free man. Otherwise, if you don't do this preparation, you're always thinking, what do I do tomorrow? What do I do tomorrow? And you're still not prepared at all. So that is where you see in a lot of young athletes, before an important match, maybe a final or a selection game, they don't get sleep. They don't eat properly. They start vomiting. These are all symptoms of that. So once you do the imagery or visualization, your job on hand is done and you can sleep well, and that can certainly add to performance. So these are my experiences. So Gundappa Vishwanath told that he finishes the day like that, and it's a normal day for him, and next day he is ready to perform. So these are my few examples like that. I have many more, Sufi, but I think due to lack of constraint of time, I think I'm done with it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I'm sure this insights to all the athletes, not only cricketers, but it reaches out to all the players from different point of view. Thank you so much to all our viewers. Do like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you, and to all the young coaches and young athletes, if you want to reach out on subjects of sports psychology, which is an important tool in other sports, especially like tennis, football, basketball, shuttle, swimming. Whereas cricket, it's not really picked up, and I'm sure it is going to pick up soon. And if you need any help, please do reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.